ربي أعوذ بك من همزات الشياطين وأعوذ بك ربي أن يحضرون. My Creator Narsara, I seek refuge in you from the temptations of the shaitans, and I seek refuge in you, my Creator Narsara, lest they be present with me. Today I am going to read from verse 258 of Surah al-Baqarah, the cow, the second surah of the Quran. Verse 258. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. Have you not considered the one who disputed with Ibrahim concerning his creator Narsara, since Allah had given him dominion? When Ibrahim said, "My creator Narsara is he who gives life and gives death," he said, "I give life and give death." Ibrahim said, "Allah brings the sun from the east, so bring you it from the west." So the disbeliever was utterly dumbfounded, and Allah guides not the wrongdoing pupil. Or like one passing by a city which had been overturned on its roofs. He said, "How will Allah give life to this after its death?" So Allah caused him to die 100 years, then raised him up. He said, "How long have you remained?" Said he, "I have remained a day or part of a day." He said, "Actually, you have remained 100 years. Look you at your food and drink. They have not decayed. And look you at your donkey. And we make you a sign for mankind. And look you at the bones, how we revive them, then clothe them with flesh." And when it had become clear to him, he said, "I know that Allah is powerful over all things." And when Ibrahim said, "My Creator Narsara, show me how you give life to the dead," he said, "Do you not believe?" Said he, "Verily, but that my heart should be at rest." He said, "Take 4 birds and cause them to incline to you. Then place you a part of them upon each hill. Then call to them. They will come to you in haste. And know that Allah is mighty wise." The example of those who spend their wealth for the cause of Allah is like the example of a grain which sprouts 7 years. In each year 100 grains. And Allah increases manifold to whom He wills. And Allah encompasses knows. And Allah encompasses knows. Those who spend their wealth for the cause of Allah, then follow not what they have spent with reminders of generosity or heart. They have their reward with their Creator Nurturer, and they need not fear, nor will they regret. A kind word and forgiveness are better than a charity followed by hurting. And Allah is free from need forbearing. O you who believe, make not your charity vain by reminders of your generosity and by hurting. Like the one who spends his wealth to be seen by people and believes not in Allah and the last day. And his example is like the example of a rock whereon is soil. The rain fell upon it, leaving it bare. They possess nothing of what they earn, and Allah guides not the people who spurn guidance while claiming virtue. And the example of those who spend their wealth seeking the pleasure of Allah and as a confirmation of their souls is like the example of a garden on high ground. The rain fell upon it, and it yielded double fruit. And if rain fall not upon it, then dew. And if rain fall not upon it, then dew. And Allah sees what you do. Does one among you does one among you wish that there before him a garden of date palms and grapes through which rivers flow, he having every sort of fruit therein, and old age befell him, and he had offspring without strength, and a cyclone wherein was fire fell upon it, and it was burned up. Thus Allah makes plain to you the proofs, that you might give thought. O you who believe, spend of the good things you earn, and of what we bring forth for you from the earth, and seek not the bad from it, to spend when you would not take it for yourselves, save that you should disdain it. And know that Allah is free from need, praiseworthy. The shaitan promises you poverty and enjoins upon you sexual immorality. But Allah promises you forgiveness and bounty from Him, and Allah encompasses knows. He gives philosophy to whom He wills, and to whom is given philosophy, he has been given much good. But only those possessed of insight take heed. And what you spend of expenditure or make of a place, Allah knows it. And there are for the wrongdoers no helpers. If you reveal charity, then it is good. But if you hide it and give it to the poor, it is better for you and removes from you some of your evil. And Allah is aware of what you do. Not upon you is their guidance, but Allah guides who wants. And what you spend of wealth, it is for yourselves. And do not spend save seeking the pleasure of Allah. And what you spend of wealth will be paid in full to you, and you will not be wronged. On the poor who are strained for the cause of Allah, they cannot make a way in the earth. The ignorant considers them free from need due to their restraint. You will know them by their mark. They do not ask of men importunately. And what you spend of wealth, Allah knows it. Those who spend their wealth by night and by day, secretly and openly, they have their reward with their Lord, and they need not fear, nor will they regret. Those who consume usury will not stand save as stands one whom the shaitan has touched. Because they say commerce is but the same of usury. When Allah has made commerce lawful and prohibited usury, and he to whom came the admonition from his creator Narsara and refrain, then what is past and his case with Allah? But who goes back? These are the companions, these are the companions of the fire, wherein they abide forever. Allah eliminates usury and increases charity, and Allah loves not any ungrateful sinner. Those who believe and fulfill the demands of belief and make prayer stand and get the purity, they have their reward with their Creator Nasara, and they need not fear, nor will they regret. O you who believe, save yourselves from the wrath of Allah, and give up what remains of usury if you be believers. And if you do not, be informed of war from Allah and His Messenger. But if you repent, then for you your capital, is your capital. Wrong not, and you will not be wronged. And if he be one in hardship, then deferment until ease, but that you forgive by way of charity is better for you, if you would know, and fear of a day in which you will be returned to Allah. Then every soul will be paid in full what it has earned, and they will not be wronged. O you who believe, when you contract a debt together to a named term, write it. And let the one who writes write it between you with justice. And let not the one who writes refuse to write it as Allah has taught him. So let him write, and let him who takes upon the obligation read it aloud, and let him fear Allah, his Creator, Nurserer, and omit not from it anything. But if he who takes upon him the obligation be incompetent, or weak, or unable to read it aloud, he, his ally, shall read it aloud with justice, and call for evidence, two witnesses from among your men. But if there be not two men, a man and two women among those who approve as witnesses, if one of them errs, then the other can remind her. And let not witnesses refuse when they are called, and be not weary of writing it, small or great, to its term. That is more just in the sight of Allah, and more upright for witness, and nearer to there being no misgivings between you, save if there be present trade that you transact among you. Then you do no wrong that you write it not. And take witnesses when you enter into contract together. And let not one who writes or a witness be harmed. And if you do, then it is sinful conduct on your part. And save yourselves from wrath of Allah. And Allah is teasing you, and Allah knows all things. And if you be on a journey and have not found one who writes a place in hand, and if you trust one another, let him who is trusted discharge his trust, and let him fear Allah, his Creator, Nurturer, and conceal not the witness, and he who conceals it, then indeed his heart is sinful, and Allah knows what you do, and Allah knows what you do. To Allah belongs what is in the heavens and what is in the earth. And whether you reveal what is within yourselves or hide it, Allah will call you to account for it. Repeat. And whether you reveal what is within yourselves or hide it, Allah will call you to account for it. And He forgives who wants, and punishes who wants. And Allah is able to apply His power over everything. The messenger believes in what is sent down to him from his creator Narsara, as do the believers. Each believes in Allah and his angels and his books and his messengers. We make no distinction between any of his messengers. And they say, we hear and we obey you. Forgiveness, our Creator Narsara. And to you is the journey's end. Allah imposes not upon a soul save to its capacity. It has what it earns and it answers for what it acquires. Our Creator Narsara, take us not to task if we forget or are. Our Creator Narsara, lay you not upon us a burden as you did lay upon those before us. Our Creator Narsara, impose you not upon us beyond what we are able, and excuse us, and forgive us, and have mercy upon us. You are our protector. Help us against the disbelieving people.